So you want to edit the weather section. Well, let's get started. You'll need Final Cut Pro and the custom motion template, as well as a font that you can find in the description below. Let's get started. The first thing we'll need is footage. So go to the Google Drive folder for the week you're editing and download the footage. If you have access to the SD card the footage was recorded on, you can use that instead. Alright, so as usual, drag the footage onto the timeline to import it. And as you can see, the volume is very quiet. We want to fix that first, because as you can see down here, the volume level is really low. So what we're going to do is go over to the audio panel. Under audio enhancements, we're going to click on this button. This is the EQ button. It basically lets you adjust the frequencies of the audio, how loud they are. So I'm going to drag them up, and I'm going to drag the volume up till it's about right here. So we don't want it peaking, but we want it to be fairly loud. So let's listen through it.
Good morning, Titans. Today's high is going to be 79 and partly cloudy.
Okay, so it's hanging out in the -12 to -6 decibel range, which is ideal. If you want to see this tool on the right, you can click right here. So now we're going to find the beginning and the end of the piece. So just looking at the waveforms, he doesn't start talking until right about here. So I'm going to press play.
Good morning, Titans.
Yep, that's where he says Good Morning Titans. So I'm going to press Command B, that's the blade tool. Select the first clip and delete it with the backspace. Alright, and then I'm going to find the end.
Thursday's going to be a high of 81 and partly cloudy. Back to you guys.
Okay, so that's the end. So I'll make another cut, select, delete. Okay, now it's time for effects. So we're going to go to the effects panel, go under keying, and add a keyer by dragging the effect onto the clip. Okay, so as you can see, the green screen has been removed for the most part, but it's still not perfect. As you can see, we have a bit of lighting residue left over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on sample color, and we're going to make a selection, just drag over that area. You're going to make it a bit bigger, and check for any other parts that might need to be removed. Let's see, looks like there's a bit of a shadow over here, so I'm gonna select that as well. Looks like there's a bit of shadow under his shoe, but that's perfectly fine. It gives some depth to it if you leave that. So now we need to get rid of the junk around the green screen, like the wall, the light, all that stuff. So what we're going to do is go into the masks category and add a draw mask effect. So what we're going to do is click to add points around the green screen. So since it's a bit of an odd shape, I'm going to go along with the shape and add 6 points and click the last one to close up the shape. As you can see, everything outside of this box is now gone. Now Graham is pretty good at not messing up, but we want to make sure he doesn't, just in case.
Tuesday is going to be a high of 89, so very warm.
Okay, so he makes a small mistake. A small mistake like that is honestly fine. It's not worth making a jump cut. It's just like one word that he corrects almost instantly. So now we need to put in the title. Now at this point, if you haven't installed the font and you're editing this for the first time, do it. Do not import the effect without installing the font. Okay, so we're going to go over to the titles panel, go under Titan Talk, and find the weather one. Then we're going to drag it right under him and stretch it out to fit over the entire clip, and there we are, we have the background. Now that being said, we still need to adjust Graham a bit and adjust part of the keyer, because as you can see, his iPad is slightly transparent. So all we need to do is find the fill holes slider and slide that up just a tad until it fills itself in. Okay, so that should be good. So now we need to adjust Graham so that he looks like he's on the roof of the school. So I'm just going to adjust the position a bit. And I need to make it so that Friday and Thursday kind of match up. So I'm just going to play through real quick. Okay, so he reaches too far for Sunday. So what we can do is I'm just going to slide him over at the start so that he's kind of pointing towards Sunday. If you want, you can add a bit of animation by using keyframes. Here's an iCard to learn more about animation and how you can do something like this. But I'm going to continue. Okay, so now for the fun part of importing the weather. So for this, I'm going to click on the title so that we can access its properties. I'm going to go over to the title properties and drag all of these up if this is your first time. Otherwise, it's going to be annoying. Okay, so we have a couple of things we can change. So the first thing we see is Friday and sunny. So when I click on this, this is a drop down, and this changes what the graphic is for that day. So if it was rainy, I'd click rainy, and it changes to rain. Now I'm going to see what it actually is, and I'm going to listen for the high, because this text box changes the temperature. So I'm going to play through and edit all those in for all the days. Now, what about the lows? He doesn't say them. So what we have to do is improvise. So what I'm going to do is look up forecast apex. And this will pull up the weekly forecast. Now normally you'll be editing this section on Thursday, but I'm editing this on a Tuesday, so instead I'm just going to pretend today is Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a new text edit document and I'm going to record the lows. So Friday would be 72, Saturday would be 72, Sunday would be 72, Monday would be 71, Tuesday would be 70, Wednesday would be 68, Thursday would be 68. So you wanted to get Friday through Thursday. Alright, I'm going to go back into Final Cut and I'm going to shrink the window a bit so I can just fit this in on the side. Then I'm going to add them, so 72, 72, 72, 71, 70, 68, and 68. And that's pretty much all the editing we had to do. Now we just have to export it. So I'm going to go up to the upper right, click there, the export button, and click on 1080p MP4. If that option isn't there, there's a little iCard here for a guide on exporting and setting up this option in particular. Okay, make sure it says 1920 by 1080, 59.94 FPS. Alright, call it weather, click next, and save it to the desktop or wherever. Alright, and if you want to see the progress, you can go to the upper left, click that button, and here it is under sharing. Now I don't actually need this file, so I'm going to cancel it. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to save the explanation for how the title works for a later date. That involves some 3D work with the weather platforms and all that jazz. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or send them to the email listed in the About page on my channel. Later.